Most people believe fasting automatically burns fat. But the human body does not work that simply. Some fasting windows barely change anything. Others quietly slow down your metabolism. And a few specific windows unlock powerful fat burning. So the real question is simple. Which fasting length actually works best? Is it 12 hours? 16 hours? 24 hours? Or the extreme 36-hour fast? Today we will break down exactly what happens inside your body. Hour by hour. Stage by stage. By the end, you will understand why many people plateau. Even when they fast every single day. And more importantly, you will learn a rhythm. A simple strategy that keeps metabolism high, while still burning stubborn body fat. But before we dive into fasting science, we need history. Because one famous experiment revealed how metabolism fights back. In 1944, scientist Ancel Keys ran a brutal study. It was called the Minnesota Starvation Experiment. Healthy young men volunteered during World War II. Their calories were cut by roughly 50%. Not zero food. Just significantly reduced daily energy. What happened next shocked researchers everywhere. The men did lose weight. But their bodies began fighting the diet aggressively. Their resting metabolic rate dropped dramatically. Almost 40% slower than normal. Heart rates slowed. Body temperatures dropped. Energy disappeared. The body had entered survival mode. Imagine a factory losing half its fuel supply. To stay open, it dims the lights. Machines run slower. Workers conserve energy. Your metabolism behaves exactly the same way. This is the core problem with aggressive dieting. Your body always tries protecting itself. So now the question becomes more interesting. Which fasting windows avoid this metabolic slowdown? To answer that, we must examine 4 different fasting durations. 12 hours, 16 hours, 24 hours, and 36 hours. Each one triggers a different metabolic response. Let's begin with the simplest one. The 12-hour fast. Most people accidentally do this already. You eat dinner around 8 at night. Then breakfast around 8 in the morning. That creates a natural 12-hour fasting window. In metabolic science, this is basically neutral. It is healthier than eating constantly all day. But it does not trigger strong fat burning. The reason is simple. Your liver stores sugar as glycogen. Think of glycogen as a fuel tank. Depending on yesterday's meals, it holds plenty of energy. Enough to power your body for 12 to 18 hours. So during a 12-hour fast, your body still runs on sugar. You are simply draining the fuel tank. Fat burning has not really started yet. Imagine driving a car across the highway. You are still using gasoline from the main tank. The emergency reserve can remains untouched. That reserve can is your body fat. Which means 12-hour fasting is a good baseline. But it is not aggressive fat loss territory. Now we move to the internet's favorite fasting style. The 16-hour fast. Often called the 16-8 method. You fast 16 hours. Then eat during an 8-hour window. For example, noon until 8 at night. Many people see early success using this method. But something strange happens after a few months. Weight loss suddenly stops. This phenomenon has been studied carefully. One major experiment tracked 16-8 fasting for 12 weeks. Researchers compared fasters with people eating normally. The results surprised everyone. The fasting group did not lose significantly more weight. Even worse, they lost some lean muscle mass. Why does this happen? The answer lies in metabolic adaptation. If you fast 16 hours every single day, your body begins expecting the routine. Just like the Minnesota experiment subjects. The body slowly adjusts to the new normal. Calories drop. So metabolism quietly slows down. Heart rate decreases slightly. Body temperature dips a little. Energy expenditure becomes more efficient. It is like running on a treadmill. But the treadmill gradually slows down. You keep running harder. Yet progress stays exactly the same. This is the 16-hour plateau. Now things become far more interesting. Because once you cross the 24-hour mark, your body switches metabolic systems completely. During the first 16 hours, your liver slowly empties glycogen. But somewhere around 20 hours, that fuel tank becomes nearly empty. And when the tank runs dry, the body activates emergency energy systems. This is when fat burning accelerates. Research from Intermountain Health revealed something fascinating. During a 24-hour fast, human growth hormone skyrockets dramatically. Up to 2,000% in men. And over 1,000% in women. Growth hormone plays a powerful protective role. It tells the body something important. Do not break down muscle tissue. Use stored fat for energy instead. At this point, your metabolism does not slow down. In fact, energy often increases slightly. Because the brain believes food must be hunted. The body releases stimulating hormones. Adrenaline rises. Alertness improves. Fat begins leaving storage cells. 24 hours represents a metabolic turning point. But there is one fasting window even more powerful. The 36-hour fast. This window appears in alternate day fasting studies. Participants typically fast one full day and night. Then eat normally the following day. Research published in the journal Cell Metabolism studied this approach. The results were dramatic. Participants lost significant amounts of belly fat, even though they ate freely during eating days. But why is 36 hours so effective? The answer lies in complete fuel depletion. By this point, glycogen is entirely gone. Your body must rely on ketones and fat. Hormones called catecholamines flood the bloodstream. These include adrenaline and norepinephrine. Their job is unlocking stored body fat. Think of fat cells as locked warehouses. Catecholamines carry the keys. They attach to fat receptors, then demand the release of stored fuel. Here is a helpful metaphor. During a 12-hour fast, you are using food from the kitchen counter. During a 24-hour fast, you start opening the refrigerator. But during a 36-hour fast, you finally access the deep freezer in the garage. That deep freezer holds your stubborn fat stores. However, there is an important warning. Long fasts cannot be repeated endlessly. Doing 36-hour fasts every few days is dangerous. Eventually your body will interpret it as starvation. Metabolism will slow again. Remember the factory analogy. Short intense stress can strengthen the system, but constant stress damages it. Fasting behaves exactly like exercise. Lifting heavy weights builds muscle. But lifting weights 24 hours non-stop destroys muscle. Your metabolism needs rhythm. Periods of fasting. And periods of nourishment. So how do you apply this science safely? The answer is something called the pulse method. Instead of fasting the same way every day, you create a metabolic rhythm. This rhythm prevents the body from adapting. One effective approach is the 5-2 pattern. You eat normally 5 days each week. Then perform 2 longer fasts. Each fast lasting between 24 and 36 hours. The fasts should not happen on consecutive days. This pattern keeps growth hormone elevated, while preventing the starvation response. Your body never fully adapts. It simply believes food availability varies naturally. Another strategy helps people stuck in a plateau, especially those doing 16/8 daily. If your weight loss has stalled, your metabolic thermostat likely adjusted. To reset it, stop fasting temporarily. For 2 days each week. Eat normal meals including breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Plenty of calories. This sends an important signal to your thyroid. Energy is abundant. The metabolic furnace can turn back on. Then when fasting resumes, fat burning becomes effective again. Finally, the 36-hour fast can be used strategically. Think of it like a metabolic sprint. You do not sprint every day, but occasional sprints build tremendous fitness. One 36-hour fast every 2 weeks can help break stubborn fat plateaus. especially around the hips or lower back. These areas often resist normal dieting. Longer fasts drop insulin levels extremely low. When insulin drops, fat cells finally release stored fuel. Another hormone also plays an important role: adiponectin. Adiponectin increases insulin sensitivity and signals the body to burn fat efficiently. Short fasts barely change adiponectin levels. Chronic daily fasting may even reduce it. But occasional longer fasts increase it significantly. This hormonal shift improves metabolic flexibility, meaning your body switches easily between fuels. Sugar when eating, fat when fasting. At the end of the day, your body is an incredibly adaptive machine. If you treat it like an enemy, it will fight you with hunger and fatigue. But when you understand its rhythms, the system begins working with you. 12 hours clears the surface energy supply. 16 hours may stall with repetition. 24 hours activates powerful fat metabolism. And 36 hours unlocks deep energy reserves. But the real secret is not choosing one window forever. The secret is rhythm. Your ancestors did not eat identical meals daily. Some days food was plentiful. Other days required hunting and fasting. Your metabolism evolved for this variability. Consistency does not mean repeating the same pattern forever. Consistency means maintaining a healthy metabolic rhythm. When you understand that rhythm, fat loss becomes far easier. You stop relying on brute willpower. Instead, you use biology. And when biology works in your favor, fat loss stops feeling like a constant battle. It simply becomes timing. Your body already knows how to burn fat. It has done so for millions of years. You just need to send the right signals. Fasting can be one of the most powerful tools available. But like any powerful tool, it must be used with precision. Not constantly, but strategically. Master the rhythm of fasting and feeding, and your metabolism will finally start working with you.